Hello, I'm Kyle Hannon, the world record holder in surviving the most chemotherapy and also the cancer patient with the largest biceps in the world. Today, I am here with the champ, Chance. His name is Chance. How do you pronounce your last name again? Haemmerle. Man, how could you possibly have a better last name, dude, for who you are, for this guy? He is a true hammer. He's an upcoming fighter. And man, this guy just hammers people. I've seen him train. I've sparred with the man. He is a hammer. He is a true hammer. He loves to fight. He has some amazing stories about optimizing health, some very encouraging stories that I've been tremendously encouraged by. I've done cold plunges. I've rolled with Chance. Like I said, I sparred with him, and he's been a great encouragement to me, more than he knows. And I look forward to getting into some great words today on this podcast, man. I love you, brother. You're an awesome dude. So, man, hey, man, what an honor to have Chance here. I believe a lot of people are going to be coming back to look at this video. No doubt in my mind, this guy is going to be a UFC champ. This guy's going UFC. He's going to be huge. When you hang with him in the gym, he's extremely charismatic. Enough about that. Who are you? I asked Dana the same question. How would you like to describe yourself or say who you are?
Right now, like in my life, I'm just trying to be as, like, in the best way possible, the most selfish for myself, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like everyone tells me, especially like in your 20s, like always go for opportunities, never let like someone or what someone thinks like hold you back.
Yeah.
So I don't know, I would say I'm an opportunist. Like I'm always trying to figure out like how I can further myself and further my friends, because like I always try to build myself around like people are going to build me up as well, if that makes sense.
That's beautiful. And I know to be a fighter, there's a team, but the apex of that team is the fighter. So it really has to become about you. And these days, if you want to make it as a pro fighter and to get into any kind of pro fighting or even amateur fighting, you have to really pinpoint that focus and really make it about yourself and your whole battle. So man, that's
100%.
That's beautiful, man. I'm the thing that sticks out with me, there's several things with you, man, that I just love is I think a lot of people would love first to hear about your story, about how you lost weight and how that came about. How did you gain the weight and how did you lose the weight?
So growing up and like always done sports, I was never like, the one kid who was sticking out like, oh, that kid's like, I if I worked hard and like tried my absolute best, like some would show. So like I always knew like I wasn't gonna be the most athletic or anything happening. But like in high school, I was kind of chubby, but wasn't like fat. So like I never really thought about it. So when I came to college, I was just like, all right, I'm gonna try to go crazy with it. My mom never really let me party. I was never really allowed to go out. So I was like, I'm gonna join a frat. So I joined a frat, and then all of a sudden, go down a couple months down the line, I'm drinking probably 5 days a week. Like, I mean, getting a call at like 8:30 at night, beer games at 10, like pull through, and we'd be there from like 10 to like 4. So I'm drinking all these carbs. Like, I mean, like I was drinking, I was putting away at least 15 to 16 beers by myself, and then I would go out and eat like Taco Bell, and like a $5 box plus two burritos or something. So like I was getting thick pretty quick, and I came in at like 215 my senior year of high school because I played linebacker. And then when my mom saw me in November, and so only like 3 months time period, I was 255.
Wow.
I went up quite a bunch, and everyone was telling me like, yo, like you should try to like lose some weight. Like people were like started making fun of me about that, which was like, I've never cared what people thought. Like obviously like it's gonna bother you sometimes, but you just have to let it roll off your shoulders, knowing that they're going with something else that's like making them feel that way. But like after a while, like I started seeing like I wasn't feeling healthy, like I would wake up and I would just be hurting. And like I wasn't working out at all either. I was just eating every day. And it was at the end of, I think, end of the semester nearing, like my mom sent me a photo, and like I sent that one to you, the one at the party.
Right, yeah, we'll put that up for you guys.
She was going on, like, I'm scared for you and your health, like I don't know what I need to do, like I feel like I've tried helping you. She obviously did, like she always tried to like give me personal trainers or try to help me with like tell me what I should and shouldn't eat. She would send me like food scales and everything. She was trying her best, but like I just didn't want it at that point. Like I didn't know what was going on. So I really looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, damn, like what has happened? And it really struck me harder when I went home and like I saw everyone and they're like, yo, what happened to you? Like everyone from high school, and like you don't want like your first time coming back. Everyone's just like, bro, like they're all treating you like way different. And like I was just like, damn, like this is how like I thought my friends were gonna be. Like I was like, all right. So like that kind of made me realize like, first off, I need to get my health into better shape, and I also need to get my mental mind state into better shape, because I was hanging around with people who weren't really putting me first and were really just using me,
right,
if that makes sense. So like that was also putting me in a negative mindset, which also contributed to my eating, because I was using food as like an emotional like outlet, because I didn't think I could go talk to people about it, which I was wrong obviously about. But 17-year-old kid, first year in fucking college, I was just like, oh my god, I have no idea what's going on. But that semester, or the next semester, I started running, and then I don't know how I came across it. Like this, it was just the weirdest thing. But like my roommate Christian, like he's really into the UFC. Like I watched the UFC growing up, but like I was never like deep into it. Like I remember watching the Robbie Lawler fight with my dad, versus Rory, and that was like crazy. And but like, so like I obviously watched it with my dad. I remember Chris Weidman snapping Anderson Silva's knee, or not knee, his shin. And I was like, jiggly turkey, like that was the craziest. I remember having all my friends over, but my roommate Christian really got me into it. And I just remember like one time, like I was just surfing on the internet looking up ways, because like I tried CrossFit and I hated that, and like I liked lifting, but like I didn't feel like I was like really like losing any weight. Like I was just like packing on more.
Yeah. And
all of a sudden I saw like a Muay Thai gym ad pop up, and like I did Taekwondo for like 7 years, and like did Olympic Taekwondo, got my black belt, stopped because I wanted to like focus on other things, just being a kid, because I did that so hardcore for a minute. And I was just like, yeah, like I want to, like I know how to kick, but like I just don't feel good in my hands. And Muay Thai, like it said Muay Thai boxing, so I was like, oh, maybe it's gonna put both together, so we'll see. And after I went into that day on Seton Gym, I think it was 2017. Yeah, it was 2018. March, and it was just like ever since I was like, I felt I was addicted. Like the sound of the cracking of the pads, and just like, especially what really helped me was the trainer Tiago, who was not more like a trainer, was kind of like a father when I kind of needed him to be. Like got me like helped me get straight and like not be an idiot, especially like in college, because there's a lot of distractions around here, especially. And I told him, I was like, I want to fight, and like I was like, I really want to, and like I see like everyone else doing it, and he was like, okay, well, you need to be at this weight. And he said he wants me to fight, where I fight at in Muay Thai is 140 to 148. Wow. So he's like, you need to get in like a 20-pound range of that. So I was like, okay, so 168, 170. So ever since then, I was like, I dedicated like all my time to Muay Thai. I was doing Muay Thai Monday through Saturday, but not Fridays, but Mondays through Thursday, twice a day. So I'd go in the mornings at 12, and then I would go at night. And then Saturdays, I would go to the classes on Saturdays, which like barely anyone goes to, but like I still wanted to go. And I dedicated my whole summer to that. Like I was able to live in my old house for free, because like they're like, oh yeah, you can start paying rent when like rent's due, but just make sure you pay the electricity and everything. So I was like living there rent free, training like every day, just working at Outback, trying to like see, like, this was my first time living on my own, and it was summer in Arizona. It was like my first summer, 115. I was like, oh my God, what did I get myself into? But after that summer, I was like 205, I think. Yeah, I was like 205, and I was just like, damn, I don't want to stop. Like, I need to keep going and keep going. So I just kept training as hard as possible, and I was supposed to get ready for my fight last December, but I got jumped. So that one got postponed, and then obviously COVID got rid of the one that was supposed to happen in April. So now we're looking forward to October for Pan Ams,
man,
and November for the USMTO if everything goes right and we're allowed to like sanction it off. But
man,
finally things are starting to come together, and now we got our boy DJ Dana about to come in the mix.
Coming through the doors. Oops. Knock knock. It's Big Dana. We're rolling. Yeah, man. Right on.
I've just been training at probably now Muay Thai for almost 3 years, 2.5, like hard, like balls to the wall, like training. But now since I started doing BJJ since last September, that kind of like has put me on to like a whole different like scene that I like didn't really think like I was gonna be like a part of and be able to like grasp.
Yeah. How did you find Soul Fighters, Tankinos? You're doing no gi and gi though, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
Tankino's what a lot of people, I don't think I've talked about on here who he is.
He's a beast. He's no gi world champ, gi world champ, multiple world champ. You can look it up. Augusto Taquino. He's a straight savage. But I was looking for BJJ gyms and like obviously like wanted to do mixed martial arts. I was like, all right, well, I need to go no-gi. So I was like looking at 10th Planet, but they didn't really have any like really good hours available, and like they weren't saying about prices either. So like I tried this one gym close. It was called Gustavo Dantes Gym, and it was like $170 for 2 days a week.
Oh man.
2 days a week.
Come on.
And I was like, what? And then it was like $200 if you want like the full package. I'm like, well, I don't got money to pay $200. And me and my roommate tried that, so I didn't go to BJJ for a while. And I just remember looking it up, and all of a sudden, like, it was just out of nowhere. Like, Soul Fighters popped up. It's because that gym just opened in Tempe recently.
I see.
So, like, it was just starting to come together, and I just remember walking in, and I already kind of had a brief background. Like, I did BJJ a little bit as a kid, and then did a little bit of wrestling. So, like, I'm not, like, I'm obviously, like, I'm a blank canvas, but, like, I thought I knew some stuff. But yeah, ever since just walking into Tankino's, like, he's given me, like, I feel like some sort of attention where, like, it's helped me grow into a game that I'm starting to like, but he's also forcing me to, like, work on other stuff as well because I do get caught in my own trance of wanting to go for the darts multiple times.
Man.
But if someone's not broken, you know, don't fix it.
There you go.
But yeah, it was honestly like everything that like I've walked into is just kind of just happened. Like I haven't gone searching for, like, it kind of just came to me. So that's why me and Dana were actually kind of talking about it when me and him started hanging out, like how everything kind of is like starting to like fall into place and like make sense, really, like for all of us, like especially like
butterfly effect.
Yeah, exactly. like how like me and Dana, I haven't talked to Dana since like a year and a half ago when he hit up my old roommate who I'm like despise. Yeah. He hit him up if he could.
Couch crash.
Yeah, couch crashing.
It was his roommate that I crashed on the couch for.
Yeah, and like so that's how like we got information and everything because like he needed my like phone number and everything so like he could get in the house and stuff. So I was like, yeah, bro, for sure. But like I was been rolling at Tanks for a while, and like obviously I know who Sugar Sean is, and like when like I didn't even know Tank was like coaching Sugar Sean. Like I didn't know that until like I saw him on like UFC one time. I was like, bro, like this is insane. And I told my roommate, and he's like, yeah, bro, like he's a highly recognized black belt in the community. Like you're training with a complete savage. Oh yeah, when I saw Dana, like I was wanting to like go out there because like I know Sugar Sean, and then I was like, I want to go see him. Like I'm not obviously not gonna go fanboy, but like I was like that'd be sick. Yeah. And then I see Dana post a picture of Soul Fighters, but like at Tim's gym. And I was like, crazy. That's my boy. I was like, and I just hit him up. I haven't hit him up in a minute. I was like, bro, wait, you train BJJ? He's like, yeah, man, I just recently started. Blah blah blah. I was like, well, that's dope. Like I've always wanted to come out, and it was like Friday when I saw this, when he cleaned the mats. So he's like, well, bro, come Sunday. And that was what 2 months ago now, Dana? And we hang out every Sunday now. Like so it's cool. We always meet up like an hour before. Yeah. Chill, maybe watch some videos of BJJ and then go in, and it's always a great vibe, especially there because like everyone's so friendly, and like that's what I love about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and just like martial arts in general. Like you establish a family. If that makes sense. It's like true. That's what like kind of this can whole circle back around to of like why I needed martial arts so much is because like I really needed a nice tight group of people who I can like trust and rely, if that makes sense. Which I feel like you could find that in martial arts and everyone can, because like I don't know, I feel like with martial arts you can see change. If that's like you can see progress, which is like the best thing. Like whether it's a stripe on a belt or like you're hitting a move on someone like you didn't think you could hit. Like once you see that, like that's like a little adrenaline. You're like, oh, like I need to keep going. Like yes, like that's how it is for me.
So accurate.
Like I'll go weeks where I'm like just staying complacent, and then like I'll see something. I was like, hey, I twitched that way a little better. I had a little better.
Did you change your eating? It sounds it was driven by training and exercise, your first step. And then you changed your eating. When
I got to 205, I was like really stuck there for a while because I wasn't seeing the weight come off anymore as easy. Because you know when you first like get in the gym or you start working out, like you can see change really fast. But it's like staying with and consistent. And like I was eating super bad. Like I mean like processed like fucking protein bars and stuff. Like I thought I was eating good, but like I wasn't really counting calories and everything. So I started doing intermittent fasting. Oh yeah. So I would just not eat until after training. So training would be at 12, get home at like 1:10, 15, cook, head class at 2:33. Yep. So like just trying to like bang out meals real quick. So I was doing some dumb stuff. It was a lot of trial and error, and it still is. But like it's way better now that I have such a smart personal trainer as like Brandon Harris, who sends me like, bro, oh my god, those workouts have me feeling different. I hit one yesterday and woof. Wow. I was like, I like, you know, it's good when you're walking out and you're like already starting to feel it. You're like, bro, yes, what did I just do? But man, that's really helping me right now. Dana got me on Paul Chek, so I've been reading how to eat, live, and be healthy. So good. Because I really want to, because I feel like, especially to be a fighter, your whole like brand and like what you're trying to fight for, like, is you're fighting and your body is part of it. And you want, like, if you're not at the best level, like skill wise, health wise, mental wise, like then I don't feel like you're gonna succeed. Like you see like these guys like Connor, John Jones without the coke. But you know, all these champions, they have all three. And I feel like that's what we need to be. Like you can shit on Henry as much as you want, Henry Cejudo, but his Neuroforce 1 training team, like they got him into peak shape. Like that's insane. Like I don't know. I think especially like with the help of my roommate Christian, like who's helping me get into like where I'm supposed to be and like keeping me on track, like it's gonna be fun. Man. It's gonna be really, really fun.
That's amazing. You just kind of shifted to the intermittent fasting, and I myself have learned it. I mean, it's one reason I'm alive, I believe, because I shifted to learning the power of fasting. And it's like, it sounds like you decided to take some steps, and I mean, you wanted to change and you took those steps, and it didn't just happen overnight. You had to keep showing up and putting the work in. And I have so much admiration for that to just keep showing up at the age that you're at. You keep showing up, you keep going with it, you take the next step. What else can I do? I hit 205. This is my goal. All right, next I'm gonna try to go without eating a meal in the morning, and I'm gonna try to intermittent fast, and to just take those. Now you're fine tuning it down. You got the best personal trainer in the world. You're going to different gyms. You're training throughout the week. How many hours are you training probably throughout the week right now?
Throughout the week, so I do at least one BJJ and one Muay Thai. Muay Thai is like 2 hours. BJJ is like either from an hour and a half. So that's like 4. So that's like 3. Like almost 17 to 20 hours a week, because I'm still lifting too, and then I go on runs just so like I can keep like the oxygen, especially in this heat in Arizona.
Oh, man,
you got to put that hoodie on, that heat resilience. You start feeling it, you're like, whoo.
That's the way to run.
Oh yeah, you have to. It's gonna suck at first. Just do it with a mile, just a mile, and then build up. But heat resistance is a thing. Like cold resistance, like I can do heat. That cold tub gets me squealing like a little girl.
You get used to it. It's the same kind of training. I think if you can learn, that's what I learned in all these chemos, is how to keep my body temperature in check by doing cold plunges and running in the heat. And I'd put sweatsuits on and run in the heat and see how far I could go and things like that. But I found it seems like just putting in that road work really translate well into the breathing in the gym. Have you found that to be true?
Yes.
There's no substitute, it seems.
So like I used to be a really bad mouth breather, and I'm still working on it. But like ever since Brandon has he really focuses on nasal breathing, and like Dana was talking about it too, like our first week, how like Tim also is like, you should be trying to nasal breathe all the time while you're rolling, because it keeps you like calm and relaxed. And which is like, I'll just be sitting at home now, like doing my box breathing, like trying to go for 4, hold for 4, and like all that. And it really just like especially like I'm not even kidding, like can ask my mom, I'm a bad snorer, and like mouth wide open. But I feel way better, especially in my workouts. Like I can go longer, like have a longer gas tank.
Yeah.
That makes sense. So the nasal breathing is something that people sleep on, and like the Gracies have been doing it for years.
Wow.
If you really go back into like
I didn't know
deep
that.
history.
That's absolutely incredible. So you mentioned too that you struggled with some form of bullying before, and we have a video I'm about to show right now, and I'll play that video, and then I'll let Chance talk about what happened. And I'll just say, viewer discretion, maybe. I don't know, but I love watching this.
I would say viewer discretion. It's not my best vote.
It's amazing to see him raw, his hammer fighting spirit, how he went. And I think, honestly, I think this needs to be done more today, is people are going back and forth over the internet, and people are building up anxiety and going to wars basically in the streets now. And he just settled it with this guy man to man, like they did back in the cowboy day, and they took care of it. But for fight fans, it's extremely fun to watch. I'm sorry to say, it's incredibly entertaining. So we're gonna run this right now. Have yourself a look.
I know, huh? That's Conor McGregor. Oh. Really committed. Me too.
You done? Let's go! What's up?
He knows you too.
What's up? Come on!
All right, so there it was. So give us the breakdown. What happened? What led to it?
So basically, like, kid was just been talking shit for like multiple years. I've known him since freshman year, and we were on the same football team. And just for some reason, he just liked picking on me. Like, I would try not to get it under my skin, but like, people knew if they kept picking and prodding me, like, they would usually get a reaction, which was also my fault. But I've done better like learning how to like engage with that. But he's just been always talking shit, always been calling me fat, always been trying to say like I can't get girls. If we ever were going out the same girl, he would try like saying some bad stuff about me. So like I was just kind of over it. But when I went to college, I left everyone in the past, like back home. Like I was like, all right, like I got like one true homie who I can actually like count on. And besides that, like, I don't care. Like, I didn't talk to anyone. And it was just one weekend. I was just, like, working over spring break, and I was going on, like, 20 days, I think, working straight at Outback. And I was like, thanks, Outback, for giving me spring break plans when no one else will. And this random kid, like, tries, like, on Snapchat, you can, like, take someone's story and, like, send it to someone else without them seeing and, like, talk shit. And he tried doing that, but he sent it to me on accident.
Oh, man.
And so I just went on Twitter. I was just like, yo, like, if you're going to talk shit, at least send it to, like, the person and not, like, the person you were talking shit about. And then try backpedaling when I, like, confront you about it. And then the guy goes, oh, you want to act so hard, but you wouldn't come home and fight me. And I was like, bro, I was at school. I'll make time for you. So, like, I got a plane ticket, like, because I was supposed to come home, but like, I was like, all right, I'm going to come home a little earlier. I was coming home for my mom's birthday, but I was like, oh, let me come home 5 days early. She's like, oh, yeah, sure. You're not thinking, like, anything else besides it. Hit this kid up. I told him we're meeting at this place at this time, and we can throw hands, and it will be done. Whatever happens, happens. And he's like, all right, sure. And so he pulls up. I have my homies, he has his homies, and basically, like, I just took off. He was wearing a shirt, and I always see in fights like motherfuckers are getting their shirts grabbed and shit and getting pulled down over their head. So I was like, I am not getting caught lacking right here. Like, I do not care. So I take off my shirt, and we just started going. And honestly, like, I can't even really like. It's so funny, like when like fighters obviously they're like Justin Gaethje says like I don't even know what I'm doing in there and like he's just like going through it. Like when that happened, I like. Just like kind of like shut off for a second. Like I just let everything that this kid was like talking shit about, everything. I was like, oh, you want to talk? Let's talk now. And so when like he tried taking me down, everyone was like, yo, don't take him down. I was like, all right, I'll keep it standing. And the first thing he tries doing is picking me up and taking me down. That's what you see in the beginning of the video. That's why like I like try hitting him after. But yeah, he just got kind of what he deserved, to be honest. Like, and at the end of it, like, he apologized, and like I was like, all right, bro, like I apologize too for beating his ass, and like we like walked away as men, like, which I feel like some people should do. Like if you really got a problem and like you guys like don't really like each other and you're not gonna settle with words, at least do it around where people can stop it. And like no one was gonna get jumped. It was like we were all just like, yeah, just do it and see what happens. All his friends were stunned though. Like, all these kids, it was so funny to see their faces and just, like, they're like, oh, shit, what just happened?
Man.
And, like, yeah, kid got what he deserved. I will never do that again, though. Never fighting outside of any ring or not doing any of that shit because it's stupid. And I've learned my lesson because I got in trouble for it. So I won't do that again.
Man, that's awesome. Did you struggle at some point with any kind of anxiety or depression?
Oh yeah, especially like when I was at the like peak of my like weight, and like also like losing it too, because like you get at points where you're like, fuck, like I don't think I can do this anymore. Like, cause I was at one point I got so focused on the scale, like it's not like how I was feeling. I was like I just wanted to see the pounds go down. So like when I wasn't seeing that, like I would get like super depressed, and I would just like not want to do anything. I would get angry at my like roommates and would just like lash out and like have like really bad, like I wouldn't say like tantrums, but just like breakdowns, to be honest. Like 17, 18-year-old kid just like not really having like that good of a, I wouldn't say, like my parents were great, but like there were some like issues that could have been like talked about, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like, but it's whatever. Like they think, I think weed's better for all that. They think pills. We're on totally different like spectrums on that.
I understand.
But you know, that's how it's just how like some like you like, which is awesome. Like I think you might be around my parents' age, but
Yeah,
like you guys
probably.
have like a different perception of it entirely, which is insane and
Right.
which is
You
awesome.
know, I probably had that perception until I was diagnosed with cancer and I was forced to desperate. And my parents also, I kind of grew up the same way, where it shifted from what marijuana was, even for my parents, where I would, my mom was like, Kyle, you need to smoke. You know, before Thanksgiving, I was listening to Bob Marley and came out smoking, and they saw the real deal of me taking medication versus using marijuana
Yeah.
in a healthy way for a purpose, and also just to enjoy it, like a glass of wine a little bit or something like that. But I'm a big proponent for going about things like you did, is where you're struggling with some very deep elements of anxiety, depression, maybe from your past, maybe from things going on around you, from the bowling, from all this stuff going on, and you took that step forward. You made that step to move. You didn't stay isolated and get on some kind of pill or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
You got up and you moved. You started training, and I wonder, where do you feel your life would go? Because I really see with you is that you're just kind of meant to fight, and it's become a therapy for you. And I felt
Yeah.
that myself. But where do you find yourself if you hadn't found fighting?
Goodness, I honestly don't even really know. If I wasn't like back home already, because I probably would have went back home already.
Where's home again?
San Diego.
San Diego.
I was
that's right.
probably would have went back home, but like, God, I would probably been 400 pounds, feeling sad about myself, because like I was in mechanical engineering as well, so like that was just stressful too. Like I thought I was good at math and sciences, and then I got hit with that, and I was just like, oh, this is like don't get me wrong, like I had a 4.0 in high school, but like college, especially like high level mathematics, you get to a point where you're like, oh shit, like I don't really, you actually have to study and try to like understand it. So that was just a lot for me to like deal with, to be honest.
At that age too.
Yeah, I just couldn't really like take it, and like I think it was like, because now I'm in construction management, but me and my mom were talking, and next semester I'm gonna take a break just so I can fully devote myself to my training and everything, and especially since like there's gonna be more competitions like for Muay Thai and BJJ, and then the plan is to have my MMA debut next year.
Nice.
Just because I feel like a lot of people rush into it, and like I want to make sure like I'm as like clean and as precise as possible, like
That's
at
beautiful.
all times.
That is, man, that's amazing. Sounds like your mom's pretty awesome. Your mom and dad, are they in San Diego?
Oh yeah, my mom's a beast. Like she cares a lot and everything, but yeah, she's really cool right now. Like we've been through our issues, especially since I'm her firstborn. I'm an IVF baby. It's like intro fertilization. So like they had to like take me out, like I was my test tube baby basically. Like they put me into my mom after I was like already like made in the test tube. So like she's very like helicopterish. Like she's like I want to like make sure you're all good, and like that was really hard to struggle with too. Like when you're like I literally was like, I left California to get away from you. Like let me live here in Arizona. Let me go crazy. Like you didn't let me do anything in high school. I'm not gonna let this be the case. And when she's really struggling with the fact right now, like she's like you need school, blah blah blah, but like she also supports like what I want to do, because she's seen like
Amazing.
the weight drop, and like she's seen my attitude and like everything change. And like my dad told her, my dad's a very quiet man, but like when he talks, like, and like he usually is like very meaningful when he says, he's like, Tracy, we haven't seen him this like dedicated into anything, and like I haven't seen it ever. Like,
wow.
He said that, which is like,
that's
which
cool.
is honestly the truth. This is all I want to do with my life. Like I wake up and all I think about is training, or like how I can make an improvement on this move, or what moves work or don't work, because I just like to surround myself with like as much martial arts as possible, because it's so beautiful, to be honest. Like you get to like show, like this is what I'm good at, I would say, like, and like not like, and like I'm not even close, like I'm okay at it. Like I just can't wait to like open up my potential and just get better when I start like seeing the actual growth.
It's amazing to watch him, and as an athlete, and I've worked with professional athletes in the past. I've been around it for a while, been in some pretty high elements of athletic training and performance, and to watch Chance perform is just fun. I mean, it's entertaining to watch him perform, and to really look at how deep he's going into some very specialized areas of training the body, maximizing performance. I mean, we hear about these, you got basketball players. I mean, I don't want to pick on them. I love basketball. It's one of my favorite sports. But to make it on the pro level, you're tall. You're born tall, and you're just working on some basic fundamentals. You're in great shape and things, but to be a fighter where Chance is headed, next gen fighter, the level that he has to prepare is 10 times that I estimate versus somebody that's in the NFL, or you're training for your life. You're training every element of your body. You got to beat your body down every part of it. I mean, now, what are you dealing with?
Breaking down your shins.
You got injury. I'm sure he doesn't even talk about it. Just part of what he does is you got injuries in your leg, right? And
yeah, I got foot locked last week. They said it's probably like popped a tendon or something, but like. Ooh. Nothing the cold plunge can't fix, to be honest. That shit works miracles.
Man.
If I could wake up tomorrow and have no school, I feel like I was back in summer again. I would literally wake up at 6:30, get up, read for 30 minutes, and then stretch, Tim Tam, because Tim Tam, like that's why I've been also, recovery is also a huge thing that I feel like a lot of people, because I remember everyone was like, oh, you need to stretch, and I never took it serious. And like when you like start moving as much as I feel like I do, your body's like, yo bro, like I'm tight. I'm more like in tune with my body now. It's like I have to Tim Tam. But yeah, for sure Tim Tam, and then BJJ at 9 o'clock. So be there sharp for Tank's class. And I would come home, probably watch a little bit of some MMA, some old UFC fights, take a nap for sure, and then get up, eat around maybe like 1 or 2, go hop in the pool, hop in the hot tub since all the saunas are closed right now. I've just been using I'll go out like at 1 or 2 and like I'll sit in the hot tub for like 15 minutes.
That's a good
and it's
idea.
just like, it sucks because like you're getting fried internally and externally.
Boiling.
And you're just like, God, I just want to, this sucks, but I make it through somehow. And then Muay Thai at night, and then just try to do at least 2 to 3 training sessions a day. I feel like some days you should do 2 training sessions, but then there's some days like you might need to like take it off because your body feels like I feel so taxed after doing 3 workouts in one day rather than 2, and it's only like an hour more of like work, but
I feel you.
That overload, your body is just like, I need some like substance or some sleep. Give me one.
Just exhausted,
exactly.
Right? I've been studying like training, especially in combat training for a long time now, especially into the time of battling cancer. And there's so many different levels, areas of thought and philosophies, I guess, in how to go about training. And there's one aspect of training that says we don't want to overtrain. We want to keep the body fresh all the time. There's another element of training that says, hey, we want to push the body and we want to really go far with that training to the point we're going to break down the body for a period of time because we want to get the body stronger later. And the only way to truly get stronger. So I've kind of found that there needs to be a variation of that. Have you implemented that kind of into the training, if that makes sense?
Oh yeah, no, 100%. Like I said, like there will be days where I'll do 3 training sessions instead of 2 because I'm like, all right, I know I need to either run today just because I have to get some extra cardio, or I need to lift. So I'll do that, and then my coaches, they're stepping it up too for me, which is like I always appreciate because like especially at my Muay Thai gym, like throughout the week, he sets it up for the fighters. So like if we're not like learning a specific combo, we're at least learning like reaction timing and everything, that like the small intricate parts that like really go into fighting, where you get to learn what that high level feints, everything like that, which yeah, some days it will be like a nice light. We'll do sparring and then we'll have conditioning after. And then other days it'll be, all right, we're gonna do drills and then sparring, and then we're hitting the pads after for at least 15 minutes. And then at the end of pads, he always does 50 right, 50 left after like the last round on pads. So like you're feeling like you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Like, I think those pushing yourself to the extreme to see how far you can go, because then you're like, oh, if I did that, like I can work this much harder, like because you instantly thinking after you did that, like, damn, that wasn't that hard.
Your mind gets,
Yeah.
you feel your mind,
Oh,
your mindset
David Goggins.
increases.
Yeah, that's a huge thing I would say is like my mind has grown. I would say that it's become tougher. I'm not gonna let some outside forces like negatively imbalance me, if that makes sense.
Yeah. When I hear, I'm learning from you as you speak, and it's motivating to me in my own battle with cancer and training and learning more about this whole world and the mindset, is when you do take that uncomfortable extra step, and I see that again and again in him and into his training, when you take that uncomfortable step forward and you get knocked down from it, and you come back up again, and you keep going forward in the healthiest possible way, you're just going to be better. So it seems like a good message of encouragement I think I'm learning from you is don't shrink back from sometimes pushing forward to where it's going to hurt, where you may risk, you may have to recover a little bit extra, but to really push your body forward so you can continue to set that bar higher each time and get that mindset stronger. That's good stuff, man.
Oh yeah, and it also helps like having people around you who also push you. Like Dana, I like thank God he's there on Sundays, so sometimes I'll be like, I want to go for a light roll, and then he'll be like, yo, go with this guy, and I'm just like, this guy, he's like, yeah, it's gonna be a good round. I'm like, let's go. Like I have to get like mentally prepared, and I'm like, I'm already fucking dead tired, but like let's get it. Like I remember when the AC wasn't working, bro.
Oh, that was a brutal day.
Those rounds, I was having to dig deep. I was sweating. I was sweating 30 minutes after.
Yeah.
Like we were in the car and I had to change my shirt twice. I was like, bro, what the hell?
I've never experienced anything like that.
I love those though. I love those.
So where do you see yourself in 2 years?
Oh, 2 years, hopefully. First off, not thinking about school in the slightest, and hopefully in the professional circuit for sure. I want to be making a name for myself. I feel like like I already said, I'm gonna do a lot of BJJ and a lot of like Muay Thai tournaments, and then when I make the MMA debut, do probably like, I don't know, 8 fights, I'm thinking, just so I can get like the experience of like the cage, because I know the canvas is gonna be different. I want to be used to that. I just want to make sure like all my bags are packed in a nice orderly fashion before I'm like all right, yeah, let's get up and like leave, because I just want to make sure like I'm good in every aspect, because like that's where like like if you look at the UFC, like I love GSP. He's one of my favorite fighters, and I feel like he's one of the premier guys who mixed it up the most. But you also have John Jones, who mixes up the most, and I love his like he says he's a see-do fighter. Like he's not no background. Like if it's a technique, like he's gonna do it and he's gonna learn. It's gonna be easy for him, and that's what like how I try to see myself, because like you can't just be a wrestler anymore. You can't just be a striker. You can't just be a BJJ guy. You got to be able to do all 3 or all 4 or how many ever there are. You got to be able to mix it all up. You can't just be stagnant.
Imagine too how much when he's talking like this, for those that are kind of new to the sport, is in football you're gonna get a single assignment unless you're the quarterback, I guess. But even but you got to maybe not to just dumb it down that much. You got to learn your stuff, and there's things you got to learn. That's hard enough in football to get to that high level. But imagine in MMA, you got to be ready for being thrown. You got to be ready for punches, kicks, knees, elbows, being taken down, getting into a grappling match on the ground. You might get choked out or submitted. You might collide knees on accident or heads.
Yeah.
You don't know what's gonna. You gotta be prepared.
Slashes.
Man, you gotta be prepared for some intense battle. And if you're gonna go against this guy, you better be prepared to go 25 minutes full force with 1 minute break. It's like your life depends on it. you got to be ready if you want to be a pro fighter. You can't just say, I want to be a pro fighter and I'm going to start taking some classes or whatever. It's going to have to be a whole life shift to be able to compete, especially at the next gen as the sport evolves, I think.
Oh yeah, and this sport's just getting more and more well known. Like it's on ESPN now, which is like that's the premier sporting network. Like,
man,
the guys, it's just gonna be crazy when like the super freak athletes start coming out of nowhere and they start getting into MMA. That is gonna be problems for a lot of people.
Yeah, man, and looking at what Sugar Sean is doing.
Oof.
Not to our sport, but to, I believe, to all sports and to a lot of culture ahead in terms of what he's branding and everything, and to be linked into the same coaching and the same realm as this. And Brandon Harris is Sean's trainer, and that's also his trainer. They have the same coaches, they're under the same lineage and everything like that. So it's kind of like they were talking about earlier, Dana, and Chance, is the butterfly effect, is how we're all helping each other. And I'm so honored to be connected to Chance, and that we form this kind of brotherhood. It's building pretty fast already. You get to know somebody pretty well when you roll with them and you spar and things. And Chance has always been so cool. I mean, not to darce me to death in there.
Yeah, no.
He takes care of his homies, so I really appreciate that. But to be thrown together, you know, in a difference of age and generations, but we're linked by a common battle together, and I just love going about it with Chance together, and I'm so grateful to know you, bro. Man, you're the man for sure.
I told Dana, I was like, Kyle's my guy. No one messes with Kyle.
What do you like to do outside of fighting? I mean, it's kind of, you know, me. I asked you that question, and myself, I like to try to do other things, but it's like fighting has art to it. It has, writing, it has podcasting, speaking, it has every element of it. So it's kind of hard, but do you have passions or hobbies or maybe plans to how you would help people in the future when you started to rise up in your career?
Yeah, my ADHD and OCD is really bad, so like fighting's usually what I'm like literally focusing on at all times. But if I'm not doing that, I'm probably like playing COD. Been doing a lot of Dubsy with the boys.
Nice.
But as I get bigger, like I for sure have already told myself like I want to have my own gym, because like that connection you make with like my Muay Thai gym just had their 17-year anniversary.
Man.
And like my coach was talking about this kid who's 17, who his mom was his first like member, and he's seen him, like he's wiped his ass and everything. And not saying that I want to do that, but like just like that family aspect of like being able to help and grow kids up, because like that's what I feel like martial arts. It's like a lot of people get into self-confidence, which is like to build self-confidence, which I can really say like is what I kind of did, because I was super self-confident. Like I did not like going out. I was always wearing a hoodie and everything because I was too big, and it would be 100 degrees out, and I'd be like, I don't care, I'm wearing a hoodie. Like, I don't like how I look. So like, martial arts got me into that mindset where it's like, nah, like I do like how I look. Like, I can do anything if I just really work hard for it, which is true for anything. You just have to have the passion for it, for like wanting to do what you want to do. Like that's why it's good to like I said, sound like a broken record, but surround yourself with the same people who have the same goals.
Wise.
Like Dana working on his music like a straight savage.
Yeah.
Becoming a beast. My boy KP is hustling like a straight businessman that he is, and then I got my two other boys. They're just grinding away, being loan officers, but they're doing what they got to do.
I really see you impacting younger athletes coming up. What message would you give? We call them on the Timbo Sugar Show, the Jobins. What message would you give to upcoming Jobins out there?
I would probably just say like focus on your goals and don't let anyone like push you off them. Like it is good to have constructive criticism, and I don't feel a lot of people don't talk about that a lot because everyone thinks it's gonna be sunshine, rainbows, it's gonna be easy, but like make sure you just have good homies and like good friends who are gonna tell you straight up like how you're doing, because like my homies give me reality checks all the time. Like they need to be able to like, yo, you're not working as hard as you think you are. You think you're doing that? Like there's guys out there working 10 times harder. Get your shit together. So work hard. Don't let people take away from your dreams, but also have people who are supportive, but also realistic as well. Because that's the best part, like, I feel that I have in my, like, tight-knit group. Like, people are real with me, which is, like, what I need. I don't need people who are fake.
Nice.
Don't need no snakes, a.k.a. TJ Dillashaw.
Is he the one that was called out by McGregor? He was
Yeah.
kind of exposed ahead of time,
Yeah.
right?
A little snake in the grass.
There you go. That was it. I was thinking of that. Something like that.
So funny. I love Connor. I can watch those videos for hours.
Man, me too. Well, hey, I look forward to connecting another pod with you if you want in the future.
Oh, yeah, of course.
We're going to start closing off here, maybe say a few last words, and can't wait to get into a quick cold plunge, right? We do the camaraderie of cold plunge, and we'll be rolling Sunday. Come and check us out, visit. I'll post into where you can visit Chance and find him. Come and visit Soul Fighters anytime. Come down and train. Chance is a very kind. I mean, if you're gonna be real, you gotta be real. If you're gonna be real, Chance is a kind, just generous person, and I mean, it's so amazing because I think he fights so hard and gets it out there in such a healthy way in what he's doing, and he's grounded with, you can hear the respect he gives to his parents and to other people. That all that he puts in there has made him such a peaceful guy. And I know you're struggling with some stuff like anybody else does at a young age, but you have such an awesome generosity and kindness in your soul as a soul fighter. You know what I mean? Fighting for other great souls out there, and to continue to watch you motivate other souls that are struggling what you went through, that you can lift them up, just like you kind of had to work extra hard and find your own way. Now you're able to give back to people, and I'm excited to see what's ahead, man, with you.
I am too, and you're gonna be part of the ride, so can't wait.
Heck yeah.
Come October, Pan
Yeah,
Ams,
man.
it's all over for that division. If you're weighing in at 164, just
Look out.
go home. It's all right.
Change your
You
weight.
don't need to be there. It's
Yeah.
all right. It's gonna be a good one. I promise. And if not, then I probably won't come back on the pod because I'll be disappointed in myself.
No, we still roll, we still flow.
Oh, yeah.
Man, thank you so much, Chance, for being here today, brother. And just check out this guy. Look into him a little bit, and visit the Timbo Sugar Show, and check out Doc's Beats. Anything else you want to say before we roll out?
Nah, just have a good day, guys. Train and don't mess with the bullshit.
Good words, man. Hey, guys, we love you. Thanks so much for watching.